Numbers beyond 200. 100. This abacus shows 100, 100 plus 0 tens plus 0 ones is equal to 100. 200s. This abacus shows 200. 200s plus 0 tens plus 0 ones is equal to 200. Let us see other numbers in hundreds. 300. We write it as 300. 400s. We write it as 400. We read it as 400. 500s. We write it as 500. We read it as 500. 600s. We write it as 600. We read it as 600. 700s. We write it as 700. We read it as 700. 800s. We write it as 800. We read it as 800. 900s. We write it as 900. We read it as 900. 1000. We write it as 1000. We read it as 1000. Formation of three-digit numbers. A. Read this abacus. We write it as 5, 4, 7. We read it as 547. We read it as 547. B. Read this abacus. We write it as 402. We read it as 402. C. Read this abacus. We write it as 360. We read it as 360. Greater than and less than. Let us compare 98 and 718. The number 98 has no digit in the hundreds place, whereas 718 has 7 in the hundreds place. So, 718 is greater than 98 or 98 is less than 718. Using symbols, we can write it as 718 is greater than 98 or 98 is less than 718. Let us compare 645 and 563. The number 645 has 6 hundreds and the number 563 has 5 hundreds. 6 is greater than 5, so 645 is greater than 563 or 563 is less than 645. Using symbols, we can write it as 645 is greater than 563 or 563 is less than 645. Let us compare 782 and 765. Both the numbers have the same digit, that is 7 in their hundreds place. So we shall compare the digits in the tens place. The number 782 has 8 tens and the number 765 has 6 tens. 8 is greater than 6. Therefore, 782 is greater than 765 or 765 is less than 782. Using symbols, we can write it as 782 is greater than 765 or 765 is less than 782. Let us compare 437 and 432. Both numbers have the same digits 4 and 3 in their hundreds and tens places. So, we shall compare the digits in the ones place. 7 is greater than 2. Therefore, 437 is greater than 432. Using symbols, we can write it as 437 is greater than 432 or 432 is less than 437. Ordinal numbers. Fun with maths. Do you know how we tell the position of an object in a collection or a person? In a group, we use ordinal numbers. Ordinals up to 10 are first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth and 10th. My friends want to see my stage show. They are standing in a queue in front of the ticket counter. They are very eager to buy a ticket. Mark their positions as first, second, third, etc. Also color the first, fourth and seventh positions as grey. First, fourth, seventh, second, fifth and eighth positions as blue. Second, fifth, eighth, third, sixth and ninth positions as black. Third, sixth and ninth. Even and odd numbers. The things in twos are said to be in pairs. 2, 4. The things in above collections can be put into pairs. 6, 1, 5, 7. The things in above collections cannot be put into pairs. The numbers corresponding to the collections that can be paired are called even numbers. Even numbers are the numbers that can be put into pairs. So, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. are even numbers. The numbers corresponding to the collections that cannot be paired are called odd numbers. Odd numbers are the numbers that cannot be put into pairs. So, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. are odd numbers. To identify whether a number is even or odd, we should remember that even numbers end with 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. Odd numbers end with 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9. 8, 12, 346, 434, 620, etc. are even numbers. 7, 23, 169, 145, 731, etc. are odd numbers.